Go Bucks, go Bucks.
2015 NFL Draft. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Jameis Winston.
Go Bucks. First and goal, we gotta tough it out. Get in the end zone and call a hot route. O-line of beast, might win the streak and have Humphreys run right underneath. You know it's Bucks ball, we got the hardest D. Bring the pressure to the QB, you know it's routine. We got hard grease. Welcome to Tampa, welcome to Tampa. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Reppin' for my team. Go Bucks, go Bucks. You know we want the ring. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Welcome to the Bay. Go Bucks, go Bucks. Tune in with bucnblake. Bucks back, we can run a toss. Mike Evans looking like Randy Moss, and Jameis making play after play. On the defense, you can't stop Levante. On my boy McCoy, who you can't avoid. At the Raymond James, you about to feel the pain. If you a Bucks fan, make a lot of noise. If you a Bucks fan, make a lot of noise. Go Bucks, go Bucks.
Feel that. Can you feel that thing that's oozing out your doggone hand? That thing that's beating your doggone chest right now. Can you feel that? Can you feel what's about to happen on this field, man?
Back to today's show, everybody, with your Buccaneer Blake Sports with your host, Buccaneer Blake. So let's jump straight into action. I know I'm doing a live stream, and I'll answer those questions after I talk about everything I need to talk about. First things first, let me get out the way. Way to go, UNC, coming up with that 2-second win in the fourth quarter over Pittsburgh. Way to go, Tar Heels. So let's get to Sunday's loss against the Rams. One of the teams I grew up in the into 2000s and 99s hating was the Rams and Marshall Faulk and Kurt Warner. It was just a rivalry thing, and it seems that even though the Rams are bad and don't have a quarterback, we seem to find ways to lose, even in crazy fashion. Under 7 points again in a loss to them. In ways we keep finding ways to lose games, and I think that's because, like, I think me and Dirk Cutter, I didn't know this, but me and him we shared the same birthday, so I kind of understand where he's coming from when he says we need to beat with one heart, and that's just he's talking about the 53-man roster. He ain't talking about fans. Fans need to get a reality check too, but I talked about that. There's a lot of uneducated people that watch the sport of football. I tend to learn. So what I'm going to get at is that in the 32-7 loss, I was there, of course, and you guys will see the photos and stuff in the intro at the beginning, and I'll put some of them up there. You can check out some of the videos and stuff of me at the game with my friends tailgating, Andrew Deason, Levante, Darryl, my right-hand man, and those guys. But the game started off great. I'm going to say it didn't start off great. We had the two safeties low, and Brian Quick got over top to Arthur Werner, went by him on a post route and beat him because Arthur Werner decided to peek in the backfield instead of looking at the receiver, and the receiver got behind him for an easy 44-yard touchdown score. That's again with last week where I was talking about what your side adjustments are when you're playing as a defender. Corner's a little bit different than safety. I said if you're in man coverage, then you're in man coverage. I said your side adjustment should be on the guy you're covering, not staring at the quarterback trying to cover the receiver at the same time. When I'll admit, okay, at like I said, they're two separate positions, but the same thing happened. Arthur Werner was staring at Case Keenum. Brian Quick was at full speed, and by the time you reached, what did I call that? The comfort zone, his space. It was too late. Brian Quick was at full speed at that point and had already made his break. You cannot catch him at that point. It's impossible. So we started off great. We got that, and then Quan Alexander got a pick six, a way to come back and bounce back from last week's loss, which I thought would happen anyway, especially with the way Jameis and the offense played. I said I knew he would come back and light it up because that's the kind of guy Jameis Winston is. And I'm going to get back into that about the Bucs culture, what Cutter's saying as well. He bounced back, finding 100 yards and 132 yards to Mike Evans, and I think 100 yards even to Adam Humphries. Mike Evans had a great touchdown there in the fourth quarter. Adam Humphries came up with a lot of big third downs, stuff that we needed. We still need help at the wide receiver position because they demanded we were watching the game, me and Levante there were watching the game. They literally had a guy on Evans, a guy over top Evans, and a guy underneath Evans. So what's that tell you? the other receivers and pass catchers in the offense have to make plays, splash plays. A lot of people were eating. Adam Humphries was eating. He got 100 yards receiving, but tight ends got to come up. Charles Sims came up on the screen pass and stuff like that. And if that kind of coverage is going to happen, that stuff Winston's going to have to read. And just guys got to make the first guy miss so we can get extra yards and get big gains. But the part that's irritating, and the part that's irritating is that when we don't converge on things or when penalties come up and stuff like that, we end up shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit. And it slows our process of what we're doing, getting rolling. Jameis getting hot, Jameis getting in sync. And like I said, I'm not even upset at this game. Actually, I'm smiling, but I'm smiling on the inside. I might smile on the outside for you a little bit, but I am smiling on the inside, even in the loss. Even in the rain delay, the loss, I had no sleep going into work. I'm smiling in the loss. And you want to tell me why I'm smiling? It's because I'm smiling because I told you before, you're getting to watch something. You're getting the moment to watch where this team is going to start changing its ways. The team is going to start turning into what we've been waiting for it to turn into. It didn't necessarily happen, but I'm gonna explain to you why I'm saying you're getting to see the transformation. When the third and long play where we sent a zero coverage man on man, Keith Tandy tried his best to cover Tavon Austin. Tavon Austin caught a pass like he caught a punt and basically walked in the end zone, and we went down 11 points. Yeah, we went down 11 points at that point. And fans got up and left. Pretty much everybody seemed to check out at that point. But there was one guy on that team that didn't check out. It was our quarterback, Jameis Winston. He did not check out with 4:44 left in the game. He went right down the field in under 2 minutes, but actually like 2:20 left. Yeah, 4:44 they scored. He went down the field and left 2:20 or 2:22 left in the fourth quarter. So our defense could get one more stop to win the game, so the offense could come and win the game. That wouldn't have happened years ago. That wouldn't have happened. We would have lost that game by 11 points or more unless the Rams decided to just run the ball out and do that. And his will to win is something to be something to be noticed, something to be honored, something to be to grasp onto and not get upset. His will to win is amazing. And I got to watch that firsthand. When they got the strip sack, bless his heart, he's a young left tackle. But Donovan Smith had to go against one of my UNC boys, Robert Quinn. I got pictures of him and all that when it warmed up in front of me. Bless his heart, he fought up against Robert Quinn, got the strip sack, and then Ethan Westbrooks ran it in for a score. And Winston chased him 80 yards, 85 yards to try to make the tackle, which he didn't have to do that, because he refuses to lose. And I think what Cutter means and what I mean by this is that will to win has to be by everybody. It has to be by everybody. It has to be from everybody, and everybody has to be sold in to win. And I think once that happens, once everybody starts believing, that'll start changing. We won't find ways to lose. We won't have to rally back with 11 points with 4 minutes and 44 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We'll be up. And I think time and time it'll happen like that. Time will work together. But I said, remember I told you before about 4 blocks in the season, 4, 8, 12, 16. Right now, if we can come out of here next Sunday at the 4:05 game with the Denver Broncos game, I'll be there again. If we can come out of this 2-2, that'd be great. Out of the first 4th block, and we come out 2-2, 500 at the first block, that would be great. Everything would be erased. It would be as if you were 0-0 again. Our division is kind of lacking right now, so we have the chance to keep the lead or maintain a lead in our division. It's those things that we just have to keep playing together. We have to keep standing by our team, standing by our teammates, relying on them to do their job, as they're paid professionals just like everybody else. I know 2 days before, if you didn't see it, I put a video up about Austin Seferian-Jenkins. I think that last few minutes of the game that would have helped with that last drive where Winston ran across the line waiting to get open. There was a lot of times in that game where Winston bought a lot of time and guys could not get open. And it was frustrating for me, so I can know it's frustrating for him. He's the quarterback, so he can't show frustration, but I'll do it for him. It's frustrating as hell to buy time like that and nobody can get open for you. And I told you this prior from the Cardinals game. We learned at that wide receiver position that we've neglected over the years. We've neglected that position. The wide receiver position I'm talking about. We invested that $9 million in Vincent Jackson. We did spend a first-round pick on Mike Evans, which was well overdue and needed. Now we don't have anything else. We tried to invest in also Safarian Jenkins, which that was part of the offense. We all know that, and ended that story. And we tried Kemi Bell. We tried Robert Haram. But it's a position that got neglected. We keep trying to either pick up wide receiver guys in the sixth, in the later rounds, or undrafted free agents, which in this case Adam Humphries worked out. And I'm glad to have him. Like I said, too, on my Facebook and Twitter stuff, Ryan Switzer from UNC answers two questions, kick returner and an amazing slot receiver. I am going to be frustrated as hell if Ryan Switzer ends up being drafted by the New England Patriots and ends up being the next Wes Welker. It is going to infuriate me badly to watch him go to that team because I know that boy can play. And if you don't know who he is, look up Ryan Switzer, UNC. He went off this week, 16 catches, 224 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and he's going to probably break the punt return record in college. The son, Austin Pearl, son of Ricky Pearl, played for the Panthers for years. I'm trying not to make these videos too long. Last time was like a 30-minute set because I was answering questions and stuff like that. I told you I'd get to you guys' Q&A at the bottom here. And like I said, you got 2 live streams, so I'm going to get to that after I finish what I say. Todd Gurley got bottled up, which we've been doing good and bottling up the run. He had 27 carries, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His 2 touchdowns were up close. He made a nice drive in that third quarter to push him up 11, I think, at one point. But most of the part, we've been doing good. We've been bottling up the run. All right, I think that's it. What I got to about the will to win, Winston and the team, and the change of Robert Aguirre. I still think holding is an issue. I don't think it's necessarily him kicking. I think maybe it's a collaborative of both, a confidence thing, and that I didn't like at the beginning with Robert Aguirre, where everybody's putting these expectations on him between Martin Gramatica. Let the boy make his own future. If you do remember, Adam Vinatieri did the same thing. Robert Aguirre came out and was missing kicks, and Bill Belichick told him, "Look, man," they said, "I really like you, but if you can't make these kicks, I'm gonna have to find somebody who can." And the rest is history. I'm not putting that expectation on them. I'm putting on that sometimes people have to find their way. They have to find their way. And if you're really a fan, you have to support these people. It's a family. It's like that when somebody in your family is going on. You gotta support them. You gotta be there for them, even when the times is rough. You can't be these people in this world, in this community, that are so quick to look down on somebody and feel you're above somebody, to feel that you're a pedestal above somebody. It's the problem in this world. It's the problem with people who have money. Everybody wants to put somebody else on a social status as if they're above you. They're not above you. Nobody with any money or anybody is above anybody. And once people learn that, this world will get better. But we'll never figure that out. People are too selfish in this world. And that's the only time we're going to get better. If you're talking about this black people stuff, this white stuff, the cops, still with that, everybody's giving the cops a hard time, but the cops don't issue sentencing. They are responsible for the murders that they're doing, and they should be charged for it. But your legal system and the punishments are issued by judges. Why don't you people go after these judges? Why don't you people go after stuff like that? And the news is all responsible after the news and stuff like that we're just letting fall by the wayside. But that's a whole other thing. Oh, about that, the only person I saw putting a fist up at the national anthem, I think, was I'm not sure who it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I didn't see anybody doing that or sitting down there in the national anthem at this game I was actually watching. Let me get some of these Q&As. I see a couple people were saying some stuff, and like I said, I'm not going to try to make this too long. What we got here? Daniel Falls, he got picked up early. Who are you talking about? We need a game changer speedster. I said that already, Arthur. We have no speeder receiver. We've neglected the wide receiver on this team for quite some time now, and it's showing. Your quarterback needs help. Winston is doing everything possible. 405 yards with 36 completions and 58 attempts. And the interception is not his fault. If it hits the receiver in the damn hands and you get popped and it flies up in the air and the defensive player catches it, that ain't on the quarterback. That's on the receiver for at least letting the ball fall to the ground, not let it fly up in the air. 405 yards. Remember, this man is 22 years old. Jameis Winston is 22 years old, asked to take a demolished franchise from the travesties that we've had at the coaching position here, the travesties in the GM positions, the travesty of the neglect of the owners wanting to put more attention into the Manchester United than this team, and the lackluster fan support from that. Not talking about the people who've been here, but it's the lackluster. And lackluster is because in Tampa we have more people here from everywhere else than the homegrown Tampa people. Luckily, I'm a Buccaneer fan since high school, if you know me. And you don't get that too much. People come here, they already have home teams. And that's when the things are going to change here. And Atlanta, I think, is going through the kind of things, the hardships that we're going through. Only the difference is they have Matt Ryan. But I think they're going through a culture change and identity change right now that they need to really figure out. And they're suffering in the pass rush department, which I know all too far about. Speedster, how do I feel about safety play? The only one getting victimized right now is Chris Conte. And I talked about it. If he fixes his side adjustments, he'll be fine. Bradley McDougall is a monster at stopping the run. He has come down in the box and stuffed Tar Gurley. He's stuffed everybody that's came up there. Keep playing hard, Bradley McDougall. Chris Conte needs work. That's another position we have to work at. It's another neglected position. Blair Walsh. Oh, you talking about kicking? Dan, they need you to throw it up. They need me to throw it up top. You don't need me to just throw it up top. I'm not a quarterback. You know that, Omar. I've never played quarterback ever in my life until I played with you guys. And I'll say I was lackluster at best. If you want to call me the Black Favre. If I ain't throwing, I ain't trying. But whatever. I'm a Falcons fan, and it's rough right now. Yeah, I'm over Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan playing lights out so far. Like I said, I think it's an identity thing in Atlanta. And I think they'll find their way some way, one way or another. I don't think Gus Bradley is the coach that everybody thinks he is. I think he rode the coattails of Pete Carroll, and he got a head coaching job, much like Jacksonville's head coach too. So with all this free agency requirements and you're on 3, I told you free agency pickups in NFL doesn't work. It works in basketball because there's less hands to feed there. You have 22 guys that start on that field. There's 22 egos and 22. People you have to account for. Well, guys, I made you look good. Yeah, you did make me look good. You did. I say, especially with those slant plays, and I only have to throw 7 yards, and you took care of the rest of the work. But that's what a receiver's supposed to do for a quarterback. You're supposed to help a homie out. You know what I mean? That's what I was telling Anthony that Winston has to do everything. Yeah, he's 22 years old. You've already thrown this on him. I said everybody else has to meet him. Meet him here. You can't still be here with the mind frame here. Meet Winston here. Just do your job. Yes, do your job. Meet him here. When he comes to this team, he doesn't have the mind frame that we're a losing franchise. Just like when everybody kept asking Andy Dalton, well, what do you think about the Bengals, making the 3 straight years of playoffs? And what did Andy do? I love his answer. He said, I don't know anything about them being 2-14 every season. He said, since I've been here, we've made the playoffs. What are you asking me about that for? And that's the right answer, because that ain't got nothing to do with you. You wasn't here. What do I got to answer for questions that I wasn't a part of this team for? I'm part of it now. I'm responsible for what happens now in the future, and much like everybody else, not just Winston, everybody else in this roster. And everybody's got to come through and do their job. Do your job. Play for your fans. Play for your family. Play for yourself. Like I said, I'm not really mad at the loss. Like I said, it was a resilient comeback, and I appreciate it. As long as you're competitive in this game, I won't complain too much. I'll get upset and say woulda, coulda, shoulda, but that's football. Who turned over the ball less? Who made the plays that needed to be made? Those are the guys that usually win the game. You just don't come out and say people lackluster coaching, lackluster this. It just happened. And what we can do is move forward now. We got the Broncos coming up, and we got to get this win. Like I said, go 2-2 and get this win at home for the fans. Go 2-2 in the first 4 block. That's the goal right now. 2-2 in the first 4 block. Don't turn the ball over to Von Miller, Chris Harris, Big Mouth, and Aqib Talib. I already see this fight coming between Mike Evans and Aqib Talib. I'm going to call that early. And keep your emotions in check. I hope you Buccaneer players or somebody can watch this video. But I'm rooting for you. I'm here for you. I said, just come through for us. Come through for yourself. Come through for your fans. And that's all I got for you guys. Y'all be safe out there with all these craziness out there. Lorenzo, Sam, all my friends that live out in Charlotte. You know, North Carolina will always be my home. But I ain't no Panther fan. I rep the flag. You guys be safe out there. God bless. Watch out for the riots and all that. And good luck on the peaceful protests and all that. Y'all be safe out there. And we'll end this how we always do. Everything that you do with your life is up to you. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Y'all be safe and God bless.
And we still East Coast. Yeah. Whoa. You already know it's good morning. This new boy scaring niggas like a Ouija board. Seeing is believing, honestly, I can't see you boys. Best of the bait, I roll up and blow my verses away. They wanna know how I do it, they've been lurking for days. Still haven't figured a nigga out. Smoking out on the couch with real niggas, man, I feel like a scout. Cause all I do is trap bitches, train them up for you niggas. They come back every day and say they done with you niggas. I talk a lot of shit, but mean it in the best way. I don't fuck with you niggas, I read you like an x-ray. I can see a lot of bitch in you from your display. Watch the nuke drop from above versus DK. The body like Miley Cyrus, nobody's a zombie virus. Mind you, I'm just a pirate, smoking get high like pilots. Man, a couple grand, I bury them in the sand. Son of Saddam, I'm bombing on niggas like it's Iran. Swoosh, yeah. I feel like Nike gave me a deal. I'm on the road, just cruising like 4 wheels. I'm a flywheel made of indestructible steel. My power can't be controlled. I'm undertaking your soul. My chokehold sick like catching a cold. Got that medication, good weed, we redefine gravitation. OG, I take off with no hesitation. I'm stacking up while you hating. And most of women love me like fornication. I feel I'm real. I was on 22nd and late with the spill and some more. Saw the cops had to go. 40 seconds later, niggas rolled. I said, you know, small nose to my dome. I was sweating the cold. Damn. I lost all my shit. My girl said, get a grip. I lost all my grip. No hook, nigga, look, if you leave your shit, I'ma take what you left, my 16s or this. It don't take much just to get your chick to strip, but that's another story. Had her on them blues, now I call her Dory. I'm on the corner with a 40 in a new category, it's new. Blow up the city and rebuild it. TV fitted, you know I killed it. Saw the house, the shit just got real and we just filmed it.